6:50 p.m. Let's begin the recording for the Merriam City Council meeting.
Where did you go? The Galapagos. The kids freaking loved it.
Really?
Loved it. I did. So, the entire travel, like waiting around in line, talking about that. Nobody had a problem. I know, and they loved it. Yeah. Thank you. I did, and the kids club you can drop them off at, and so I loved it. They were like, the first day I was like, okay, 2 hours is a good amount of time, and they're like, let's go tomorrow for 4 hours. I'm like, okay, there you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they loved it.
That's really cool.
Yes. One question. I know we've messed up. My teacher was there.
No.
For high school trip.
Yeah.
Studying geopolitical stuff. Okay. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Hi.
Ladies, how are you?
Yeah, it'll be like.
So do you have Betty Ray's lined up for?
We're going to dinner.
Oh, okay.
We have to
That's
watch
very nice.
really kind of
Where are you going? Does it make it better than you?
She's like, yeah.
Would you like some hair? With the mayor? It's an amazing line. It's a ribbon. First every other particular, but then, I like what it gets. Yeah.
We gotta take our picture. Yeah.
No. Friday morning. Okay. I don't know when I'm gonna
Once it's hard to miss doing this. So good.
I'm great. How are you? You were awesome on your panel discussion.
Oh my gosh.
One of my favorite people are
That was one of my favorite times. For anything finance related. So I was like trying to fill in a finance class that I don't really have yet. Yeah.
I can tell people about the dig I've got.
John will use every opportunity possible.
Shows up like
Every time. Need a finance director. you want to explain what you Is this your daughter? Yes. She looks like you. Hi.
I help state, regional, local governments, like, and nonprofits, borrow money to pay for capital
You have to go every
just when I have stuff on the agenda. And I have super, I do. So this is open session. And then there's an executive session, a closed session.
Are you not?
Got it.
What's your
Super secret stuff.
I knew Paragon.
You knew what?
Paragon was
Hey, how are you? Good. Yeah, I just zoom in and out without touching there. Passport reader that's sitting next to it on the table. I can without getting up.
I just kind of put them in the order that I thought it was on.
I did. Probably. Yeah. Actually, they introduced the first public comment limitation ever for the meeting tomorrow. There's a meeting for 5 minutes. Never before. That's why I introduced it 4 months ago. Before the meeting started, I pointed out it's never been announced. There's never been allowed in here. If we can't talk for like 15 minutes before it should happen. Interrupting me after you finish out of the board. Not all. She goes to the art gallery. I'm there.
According to my AP knowledge.
I need to find a talk to Devin Sound. It makes it hard to record. It gets the audio of everyone talking. The council meeting is executive. I'm going to work from
Take the same one that's being sent over there. We're going to go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll kind of hauler thing where the city will do the trash company.
My daughter's doing.
Okay, I see that.
So I told her
They locked down.
Because having one big contract is going to reduce the administrative cost of the trash company. So, oh yeah, it'll still raise. No, definitely.
he's not an example.
Can you ask him?
Will you ask him? He will. He'll explain. He'll tell. Okay.
That happened to Prairie Village. Maybe it was their way out. One of those cities.
I don't know. I'm just used to like.
They have a trash.
We need some entertainment.
There was a contract in the city has literally been there's also problems with trash cars. People need like to fit in the house. Smaller ones. Not every company is willing to do that, but
That's funny.
Cookies is the city company.
You didn't have school today.
Choice trash man.
How was your day? Oh, did you work all day? All day or your regular hours? Because SMSD was
I lived in Night City for some years.
And how were they? Were they as crazy as you expected?
Behind north of
For no reason.
Just because.
north of Miami. And you could not have a big trash cart there. You had to carry it up the stairs every day or every week. So size sucked at all. And I'm going to ask if they hold the work session down here. More but nothing dramatic. I try not to do that during meetings. It's tiring on me as well. think your time's up. Tomorrow morning. Glad I didn't do it today.
Minus 4 hours.
Right. I need to know for sure when the city was served. Never found out.
I was like, bye! I haven't eaten all night. Bye.
He doesn't always answer like quick.
Meeting to order, and if they will please stand for pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pate?
Here.
Councilmember Shabeta?
Here.
Councilmember Kuzmeyer?
Here.
Councilmember Hans?
Here.
Councilmember Caldwell?
Here.
Councilmember Leahy?
Here.
Councilmember Ryder? Here. Councilmember Silvers?
Here.
Councilmember Yodridge? Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up is public items. Members of the public are encouraged to use this time to make comments about matters that do not appear in the agenda. Comments about items on the regular agenda will be taken as each item is considered. Please note individuals making public comments will be limited to 5 minutes. In accordance with governing bodies, rules, and procedures, the city reserves the right to refuse public comments that are personal, impertinent, or slanderous. I had no one signed up on our sheet, but that does not preclude you from coming forward at this time if you have a public comment. Support, sir. Give your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Billy Cron, 653 White Street. There will be a work session following this meeting to discuss single hauler. A lot of neighbors are really excited to hear what the city is doing about that. So I'm kind of sad to hear that that's going to happen upstairs where the city's camera and microphones are off, and citizens won't be able to see that on the city's website and the city's YouTube channel. If they search on YouTube after this date, they will be able to find the recording. If they search for Merriam work session city council, you guys will as well. Because I'm going to try to record that to share with neighbors. Hopefully the audio comes out okay. I know it's kind of noisy up there, and no city council person is actually facing the public in that room, which is not ideal. But I'm glad the discussion is going to happen nonetheless, and I look forward to it. Thank you.
Mr. Crum? Anyone else looking forward this evening? Okay, I see no one else coming forward. I'll close out the public items. Next item up is the consent agenda. All items listed under this heading considered to be routine by the City Council may be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which case items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Considering we only have one item on the agendas, do we have any discussion of that? I see no discussion of that. I would entertain a motion. Mr. Silvers.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that the council approve consent agenda item number 1.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second? Michelle?
Mr. Mayor, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Shabeta?
Aye.
Councilmember Kuzmeyer?
Aye.
Councilmember Hans?
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell?
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy?
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder?
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers?
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge?
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up is the mayor's report, at which time I have a proclamation from 7 Days of Kindness Week that I would like to read. Whereas 7 Days Make a Ripple, Change the World is an annual series of events demonstrating how hatred, bigotry, and ignorance can be overcome by kindness, respect, and understanding. And whereas 7 Days commemorates the lives of Dr. William Corcoran and his grandson Reed Underwood and Teresa Lamano, who were murdered on April 13, 2014, by encouraging all people to discover commonalities and overcome evil acts with kindness. And whereas 7 Days 2025 is March 31 through April 8 and focuses on kindness through activities with the daily themes of love, discover, you, others, connect, go, and onward. And whereas Merriam is committed to being a community where kindness is key and understanding paramount, and strongly supports a partnership with the Worthy Outreach effort by conducting 7 days of kindness activities. Now therefore, I, Bob Page, by virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of Merriam, Kansas, do hereby proclaim March 31 to April 8th, 2025 as 7 Days of Kindness Week in the city of Merriam. I encourage all residents, businesses, organizations, and visitors to come together to be more understanding of differences and act more kindly to others, thereby making the world a better place, one ripple at a time. Proclaimed on the 24th day of March, 2025, I'll be the mayor. And in our audience this evening, we have Stephanie O'Sullivan, who is a board member of 7 Days, and I will be bringing this proclamation down, giving it to her in a second. But if you come forward to the podium, I'll give you a moment to say a few words.
Hi, thank you, Mayor and the City Council, for the proclamation. I'm Stephanie O'Sullivan. I'm representing 7 Days as a board member. I'm also a leader at Advent Health, and I'm a believer in the power of kindness. And like you mentioned, our mission is to overcome hate through education and dialogue, and we're promoting our Week of Kindness from March 31st through April 8th. Also, I invite all of you to attend our Kindness Breakfast. That's on Wednesday, April 2nd at the Church of the Resurrection. If you'd like more information about that, you can find it on the website at 7days.org. Also, I brought some resources here for you today. Maybe I can leave those with you, and some stickers and kindness cards. There's some bookmarks that have some great adult reading about kindness on there. And I just want to say we really appreciate Merriam's kindness to its community, all the things that you do, the Parks and Rec, and support for the arts, and community engagement. So thank you so much for being kind. Thank you for having me.
Well, ladies, if you want to wait right there, I'll recognize you.
Okay, great.
Step on your foot, sorry. You have to vote for it?
Yeah, she's going to send
You're gonna do that? Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. Thank you.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, a couple other things in the mayor's report, and we'll get right to it. I always like to say a little bit about what I or other council members have done. I didn't have an opportunity to speak on the council, so please speak up at the end if I miss you. But I attended the Johnson County and Wyandotte County Mayor's Dinner. It was hosted by the next Mayor Sayers at their new Justice Center. Very nice facility. We got to take a tour of it. I and Councilman Memphis Ringel put together tonight's agenda. I attended the Zoom meeting of the Johnson County Transit Strategic Planning Group. Lots of ideas were discussed to improve on routes, increase ridership. Some consolidation of routes was discussed, and reducing wait times was important. Recommendations to the county commissioners to be forthcoming. I attended the Flags for Freedom Committee meeting. Lots of great ideas were discussed. We'll be stepping up a notch this year with band, food, other involvements of other groups. So exciting times to happen July 4th. Several council members attended the Public Art Committee. Appreciate that. They have narrowed the applicants down, in my understanding, to 3, and eventually get to 1 to make a recommendation for the city council. Did anyone else do some things I forgot? Go ahead, Ms. Haynes.
I went to the Women's Business Breakfast with the Merriam businesswomen. It was quite delightful, and our friend Meredith House was our special speaker. Delightful.
Great. That's for attending. Okay, well, that's all. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Hines.
Jacob and I went to NLC in Washington, D.C.
Oh, my gosh, I missed that.
Yeah.
That was just the last meeting, wasn't it? It was during the meeting that
It
you
was.
were there, so that's why you did. Yes, we missed you guys.
Yes. We focused specifically on affordable housing, as well as making sure that federal funding still comes to projects in Kansas that, especially are already in progress, that are intergovernmental partnerships with the federal government.
Dates on that, or
You're cute. No. But at least one of our senators was really responsive to a lot of our questions.
Thank you guys for sitting and representing us. Okay. Anything else? All right. Well, let's move right along then to council items. First one up is consider approval of purchase of a 2025 international. Well, I just let you talk about it.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our 2025 budget includes replacement of 2 plow trucks for the Public Works Department. The current trucks were purchased in 2009 and have reached the end of their life cycle as a frontline unit. Our fleet superintendent, Ross Davis, who is in the audience tonight and ready to answer any of your technical questions, recommends purchase of an international cab chassis from Rush Truck Center of Missouri. That would be purchased through a cooperative bid. He also researched dump bodies, dump spreader bodies, and recommends the buyer's NDS, which is a little different than what we've used in the past. This actually incorporates the salt spreader into the dump bed, which will remove the need for a separate spreader. So we're really excited about that. The total cost for both dump trucks with plow and warning light equipment is $525,646.80. And when we got the quotes, we talked about tariffs with the manufacturers. They're concerned about that. So based on our discussion, we requested that they give us, to the best of their knowledge, what would be a maximum tariff cost. And the chassis, they're indicating a potential of up to 10% on both chassis and up to 25% on the warning light equipment. So that would be a total of $25,523.30 in tariffs. So we're recommending that council approve the purchase of this equipment in an amount not to exceed $551,170.10, which would also include the tariffs. So if there are tariffs, the city will only pay the actual cost of the tariffs at the time of build, and we'll have the option to cancel the purchase if for some reason it's a lot higher. So the equipment and vehicles was under budget, but if we approve the budget with tariff costs, that would exceed the budget by $11,170.10. And there are adequate funds available from the contingency in our budget to cover this overage. I'd be happy to answer any questions as well as Ross Davis.
Any questions for the company? Okay, great. Ms. Schmidt.
I know tariffs are a mess. So I assume if we approve this evening, we will place an order within the next few days, week, and then are we subject to that tariff price? Like, have they said, like, even if it's not built by this date, we'll be subject to that tariff still, or do they even know?
So, and I may have Ross given all the details, but once we order it, and then at the time when they're ready to build it is when the tariffs would go into effect. Do you want to add anything to that?
What's the lead time from that?
Yeah, 4 to 6 months. That's the real big one. Chassis. Get all together. Get started building right away.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Do you have a picture? You always take a picture. Thanks, Rob.
So if we get this ordered, when do you anticipate delivery?
I actually have 2 questions. One, just to confirm that this was a budgeted purchase. It was in the budget and expected.
Correct.
And then my second question is, it kind of goes along with Stacy's question. I'm sure you all received sales sheets for all of these items. Would it be possible to include those in the packets in the future?
They're actually in the package.
But actual, like, images of the, like, the actual sales sheets, images.
Oh, yes.
That'd be
A
great.
picture of the equipment.
Yeah, just so, I Googled it, but it'd be nice to know if I was Googling the actual product that we were.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Coleman.
Yeah, just curious, how many of these trucks do we have?
Currently we have 5.
5. Thank you.
Okay.
And then following up on the numbers, why is it then that we do two at once? I understand we bought them both in 2009, but is there any opportunity for staggering, or is there efficiency in having two that are alike?
It's similar systems because they upgrade all the time. So like right now we have 3 trucks that have one system instead of 2 trucks that have different. And we're going computerized, so they upgrade it, they act different, so spacing together helps it operate and control better.
Sure. Okay, thanks. And we also look at, our equipment fund and look at our costs and try to make sure that we're not purchasing a lot in one year versus another, so we kind of balance that, and Ross does a good job of that.
Yeah, thank you. Now that I've seen these photos, I have another question. So this is a dedicated salt spreader. Because it looks like it has a conveyor in the bed.
It does, but there's a plate that attaches to it.
So it can be used for when you are driving. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Sean. Are we gonna get the names again? But, yeah, we haven't named
One a year.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Sean.
This is a question about the tariffs in general, but as we put things out to bid, are we starting to see the bids increase in number as they come back due to tariff fear? And
I don't think we have yet, but, as we see.
This is the first one?
This, yeah.
Okay.
But I know that you mentioned the police cars, that there's another concern whenever we purchase that about tariffs.
Hold on that, as far as, they won't put pricing out.
police cars are on hold.
The majority of them, yes.
Yeah.
Because
Because I know we go through that pool purchase on.
yeah, they came out with pricing for all that in at least December, they got approved in January. So, all that pricing is pre all of this, and so I know if they're made, we're looking to get LEDs that are made in Mexico, so they won't give us pricing on this until, because they're solely made in Mexico, like battery floaters.
Right. And then as far as construction costs go, we haven't seen any of.
We haven't yet.
Yes, okay, great. And we're already dipping into contingency for those things potentially.
For this item, yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you for outlining and line iteming the tariff, not knowing what it may be coming forward. Do we expect to see that probably for the foreseeable future, that we get the tariff as a line item so that we know if it is in place when we order, or if it's in place when we fabricate it or accept delivery or whatever the case may be? We just have to accommodate that in our budget.
Yes, and we'll be talking to all the manufacturers, like a construction project, we're not seeing that because they'll start right away, but this equipment, since it has such a lead time, that's kind of the uncertainty. But yes, we will pay attention and talk to manufacturers and try to make sure that we're including that cost.
Well, I just also want to make sure. Thank you for explaining that and outlining it.
Sure.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Sorry, one more tariff question, because I've been dealing with this in my other job. Are they outlining them as a separate line item, or are they just saying this went up this much? Or, are you asking for, not specific to just this, but, future too? Are we going to ask for, a line item of, it went up because of the steel cost, or whatever?
And feel free to add this, but I'm assuming once there is a tariff, it'll be included on the line item automatically. This one was we're anticipating it could happen, so we went ahead and asked that.
I've had suppliers just flat fee, this is what it's going up, and we don't, there's no transparency, so I was just hopeful that we were getting some transparency in it.
Yes, do you understand that?
With the chassis, with what we're dealing with now, they said that they will, if we ask, they will give us what the increase is for and documentation and everything for it. But as far as the vehicles, I don't know if we're just gonna get increased prices, or if we have base prices for all this, so we can kind of pull some of that out.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I appreciate you fielding all the tariff questions. We know you're not tariff experts. We just want to be clear that our budgeting has been accurate, but this is impacting our government.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thanks to Ross for tracking all that down.
Thank you.
Okay, no other questions? I would entertain a motion for this item. Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve the purchase of two 2025 International HV 507 chassis, two buyers, MDF dump spreader bodies, and warning light equipment in an amount not to exceed $551,170 and 10 cents.
Go ahead, Ms. Shivers.
Ms. Reader, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Bismarck.
Aye.
Councilmember Ham.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'd like to Director Company at the podium for item number 2.
Well, I know you've heard a lot about the 49th Street Schweitzer Antioch project. We're really excited about it. It's getting closer to beginning construction. Just a reminder, it's a 2-inch mill and overlay, replacement of curb and gutter, pavement markings, stormwater improvements, a new sidewalk on both sides of the street, and replacement of existing sidewalk, and bike lanes on the south side of the street from Knox to Antioch. The project was bid in February and includes the bid and a bid alternate. And the bid alternate includes replacement of up to 9 gravel driveways as part of the driveway grant program. So we opened bids from 6 contractors, and Amino Brothers Construction was a low bidder. The total bid with bid alternate is $2,866,714.50. We reviewed the bids and recommend approving the contract with Amino. I understand that Amino hasn't done any work in Merriam, but I've worked with them in other cities, so we're recommending their approval. A little update on the project. Water One started water main replacement. They're going to be replacing the water main from Knox to Antioch, and they're working between Benson and Antioch right now, so there will be a lane drop for eastbound traffic, and they'll move farther west. We also have Kansas Gas starting tomorrow, starting from Schweitzer moving east, and they won't be under pavement. They'll be out in the right of way, but not under pavement. As far as land acquisitions, we have 56 of 69 tracts approved. We have 13 left, and working with our land acquisition attorney as well as the city attorney to they filed the ordinance in district court, and we should be having a hearing soon, and we should have those easements acquired by no later than June 1st. So I would be happy to answer any questions you have.
I have a question.
Okay.
I hate to show my ignorance, but I haven't been riding my bicycle lately, but considering we only have one bike lane on the south side, do all bikes go, I mean, normally you ride with traffic. Will they be riding against traffic and using that bike lane? I guess the bicycle riders up here. How does that work?
So it is a little different to only have one bike lane, but they will only, eastbound traffic will use the bike lane, and then westbound traffic, bike traffic will not have a bike lane. They will have sharrows to indicate that it is a bike route, but we couldn't do it on both sides because there's a lot of parking on the street. So we didn't want to take away the parking on the street. Parking isn't typically allowed in the bike lane, so it's protected eastbound and open westbound.
So there'll be sharrows going the other direction then?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Cosmo.
And the side with the bike lane, I believe, is the side that's generally going uphill, right?
It's on the east side. Well, it'll go up and down, but.
Okay. And I know in the bike plan a couple of years ago, some of the streets that were getting a bike lane on just one side, it would alternate sides based on which one is going uphill or downhill.
So it was selected, there's a fair amount of duplexes, and so there's a lot of parking there, and so we selected it based on the east side.
Any other questions, Director? Company? Oh, go ahead, Mr. Cosmo.
I've got one more about the land acquisition. Did you hear any more from any of the people that you weren't able to get in touch with as of the last meeting?
Yes, I think
I can't remember the exact amount, but yes, we're slowly trickling in. So I wanna say it was 40 something we had before, and now we have 56, so.
Go ahead, Mr. Silvers.
Do the landowners have a chance to negotiate with you even after a court date has been established, or after the court date's been set, it has to go through that process?
I don't know when exact, but I think it's when, and city attorney can correct me, but once the appraisals are in, I mean, up to that point, I think we can negotiate that.
So, they can negotiate, look, court sets a hearing, the appraisers come in, they have their hearing, then they enter an award, then the appellant, or pardon me, the landowner can actually decide if they want to appeal it to district court. At any point in that entire process, they can even go to a jury trial on it a year and a half from now. At any point in that process, they can negotiate that process.
Okay, any other questions for the Bridge Committee? Well, after that, I would entertain a motion for this. Chandra.
Mr. Merriam, move that the council approve a contract with Amino Brothers Construction, Inc. for the 49th Street, Western to Antioch Street Improvement Project in the amount of $2,866,714.50.
We have a motion, do I have a second? Mr. Councilman.
Mr. Mayor, that's a second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Hans.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Cosmeyer.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Our finance director comes to the podium for our finance report.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. So, as of February, the City of Merriam's financial position remains very stable, with no highlighted concerns. You will see a memo in front of you that couples with the monthly report like I promised. Currently, all of our expenditures are trending well below the budget and what we would anticipate, which is great. You will see in there, though, like I spoke on during the last monthly report, that for sales and use tax, you're going to see zeros. That will only be until next month. So just a reminder, sales and use tax lags about 2 months to get to us. So we will see January's and March's report. So when I report to you next month, those numbers should look a lot better, and we'll be able to speak a little bit more on the revenues and how we're doing there. Any questions?
Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, let's keep moving on. We had a public art committee minutes for in our packet. Is everybody okay with those? Any questions for Director Fulton? No? Okay. Well, do we have anything from staff, Mr. Eagle?
No, sir.
Nothing from staff. My understanding is we have an executive session. Okay, and I need 1 hour. Okay, well, I would entertain a motion to executive session today.
Yes. I move that the governing body recess into executive session pursuant to KSA 74-4319B2 for the purpose of discussing possible development terms for real estate development, which includes consultation with legal counsel on matters that would be deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship. Present will be the city attorney, city administrator, assistant city administrator, community development director, finance director, and bond counsel. The meeting will reconvene in the council chambers at 8:30.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Shadridge.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Okay, we have a motion second, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Cosmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Ham.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
And just for the record, there will be a work session following our 1 hour upstairs as well. So if you want to stick around and come back for that, you want to do so.
Am I correct? There's no chance it'll happen earlier than 8:30, is that correct? Once they've called the executive at 8:30, council will resume from 8:30 to start elections. Okay, so if I want to go, come back on it. Okay, cool. Thank you. So what's interesting is in the packet it says legal matter, privileged client attorney. But it doesn't tell about real estate.
Right.
I figured they were talking about the lawsuit.
It would say pending litigation.
Pending litigation.
So I would say that that's pretty much, I think Justin dropped the ball.
Yeah, I used the attorney, not the sheriff. I asked him about that. And,
I think he dropped the ball. If other people, if he waits too long to serve, then he can dismiss it.
yeah. And it has the filing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can Google and find a case number and
Yeah.
all that, but it's good.
Hasn't been given a copy officially. I asked him if I could serve the city. I'd love to serve out there, walk up there, walk right past the podium at city council. Here you go, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, this is for you
I'd get a
to
kick out of
serve.
it.
He sued the, all the people, individually.
Yeah, the 4 individuals plus the city.
So you have to serve the city and then you have to serve each individual. That's a big deal if you don't do it right. And he's dropped the ball so far.
That's disappointing because I haven't like stayed on him about that. I assume he knows more about lawsuits than I do. He's had a couple school boards and stuff kicking people out for illegal words and books that are given to children because those words are too profane. Have you heard about that? There's very graphic books being given to children in schools in the country, and when people go and read those books at school board meetings, they get kicked out of the school board meetings because those are inappropriate things to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
He is like 30 years old.
See ya. You not coming back at 8:30?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll have a recording of it. You can watch the work session.
Awesome. Good job.
See ya.
We're going to have to see me.
Me too. Always a pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go to the next one. I was kind of hoping they do it the other way around.
Juliana, you sticking around for the 8:30 upstairs?
Yeah.
Cool. Have you gotten a copy of the quotes by chance that they've gotten? The 4.
Not yet, no.
Would you like one?
Sure.
I open recorded it. They sent it to me, so I'll be happy to pass it on. I'm gonna grab one on the bench.
Okay.
Are you hanging around?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
She's coming back.
I'm gonna go turn in some library books before I get burned at this day.
Perfect timing.
She's in deep kimchi with that.
Oh, and the volunteers, surrounded by the mayor, being,
Convenient, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get some water now.
Yeah, okay.
Another joke? Only a whole cake?
Yeah, a whole cake, yeah.
That would be my birthday. I need one. I need one here, one to smoke on. That's probably better. Those are tough. Oh, yeah. But there's lots of others, yeah. There's some other jokes with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For a while. Are you going to work session three?
Yes.
Yeah, that was what I was like.
That actually wasn't signed, and I saw it in the print shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you just laughed.
Right.
Oh, wait, this is about three of us. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And I hired her.
Really cool.
Yeah, you can make it up.
Yeah, I would probably.
I don't know if it's just, maybe, purpose for being,
I think, I think just the price. I think it makes us feel better. And you need a last month manager? I don't think I want to, I think it's. Oh, yeah, and actually, to be honest, that is nothing. That is nothing compared to. Well, I say they, but the one gentleman. They've been, I mean, really.
yep, very quiet.
Got, 39 more minutes.
We're on the way there.
We should have brought some board games or something.
Something.
Deck of cards, I should have brought my computer, I almost did. You can only do so many things on your phone.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna sit right here
Okay.
in my quasi comfy chair. It leans back, so which is
Yeah.
those don't lean back.
And yours is fabulous.
It is padded.
Yes.
I shouldn't complain.
Why not?
Well, because I think they just bought all these grenades.
Yes, I remember.
That's not bad. That's not bad. The only thing, which I'm kind of glad doesn't have armrest on it, because it's a lot harder sometimes all fun to sit in it, but. I don't like to sit straight at the table. It feels like I'm confined. Just to be open up. Oh boy.
power blinked last meeting, during the meeting. Is Susan coming back for single hauler? Is Susan coming back for single hauler? Time for dinner first?
I think so.
They were having dinner at home, and I stopped by the garage and took up a wire to make this work. Hopefully this will cut down on the air conditioner noise from above in that room.
jail. And that's obviously.
Is there a weekly police report that goes to City Council? Do you know?
Yes,
What's it called?
we take police report.
Weekly police report?
Yeah.
Huh.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move we adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion up here. And Mr. Bennett?
Mr. Merriam, second.
Give me a motion second. And clerk?
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
For those in the audience, there is a session upstairs on general board session. It's in Funeral Hall.
I haven't been invited. No, I
There's a method to the madness.
February?
Yeah.
Yeah. It took 7 months. Someone was locked down. Usually roll them. These are not. I know.
I didn't say that.
No one has claimed it.
Yeah, it's only got about a cup. Half a cup.
think everybody knows where it is if they want it. It's peanuts.
We want to hear what
Awesome. All right. Are we ready to get going, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So I have probably like about 12 slides here. I've provided you the information that we're going to discuss tonight. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to review that before this evening. But with that being said, what are we doing? Well, we finally have answers to the questions that we've been asking for the last almost year. So we're going to kind of go back through that timeline quickly. I won't belabor it. These are the presentations you've pretty much already seen. And then we are going to go through those bid responses that we received. But really tonight I'm looking for general head nod direction moving forward. Obviously we can't make any formal decisions in a work session, but I really just need you all to provide some sort of direction moving forward, as the next step would logically be to approve a contract based on the bid responses we got. With that, we've talked about this a lot of times. Every time we've talked about this is up here on the screen. You've seen this slide before, and we continue to update the community on it as well. At the end of our discussion tonight, I do have a proposal for a postcard. Assuming you all do still want to move forward, I have that to share with you all that can go out as early as tomorrow if you all direct us in that motion. But we've been talking about this ever since the community survey. Actually, you were even talking about it before the community survey, but just to remind everybody where we started, the community wanted us to investigate a single trash, recycling, and yard waste hauler. A number of almost all of the other Northeast communities in Johnson County are with a single trash hauler. Actually, all of them are with a single trash hauler. So we went down the path of investigating what that would look like for Merriam. You all had to establish purposes and goals. This is part of the state statute, requires you to do so. This is included in the organized collection plan that you all approved earlier, late last year. And we've talked about this a lot with the public. We established an individual web page for this topic that has the opportunity for the public to provide comments at all times. Those have been collected and distributed to you all occasionally. It has been in every single Highlights magazine since we have started discussing this, so I believe this will be the fourth one that comes out here in the next few weeks. And we put it on social media, all of our social media channels, dozens of times. Not only just to make sure that the community was informed, but also to receive community feedback as well. These are the themes. We've talked about these a number of times. When we do hear from the community, this is what we hear. So we wanted to make sure that these were collected when we drafted the RFP and then ultimately sent that RFP out for bid. With that, a work group was established, community work group, representatives from the council, representatives from the community, a representative from Johnson County was also on that committee. To come up with what a good RFP or an organized collection plan, you're going to hear me use those interchangeably, what that looks like, and essentially what the bid package is going to look like moving forward. All of these bullets here were included in that RFP. When we put the RFP out, we did not know the answers to these questions, and we've said that all along. Hey, we don't have answers until we put this out to bid, and we get the bid responses back, then we can answer all of these questions for you. Which is exactly what we did. I'm sorry this is very small. I didn't even think about that. But you hopefully have reviewed this before tonight. But we did get the bids back. We had 4 companies respond with 5 bids. One company submitted 2 bids because they are a consolidated contract with the Northeast Johnson County cities through the Mid-America Regional Council. They did submit that opportunity to us to tack onto that contract. They actually, the 2 lowest bids were the same company, depending if we go with that consolidated contract or if we go just with them separately from that consolidated contract. There were 3 other bids as well, as you can see those here. We tried to do it apples to apples as best as possible. Depending on what company responded, there were different nuances based on which company responded. And so the work group really took a good hard look at those. We went back to the haulers a number of times with multiple sets of essentially follow-up questions that we got answers to, and had a lot of discussion with the work group. Ultimately, the work group is not providing a formal recommendation. However, as you can see based on the prices, there's a heavy leaning in moving forward, but it was not unanimous with the work group. Are there any questions or comments at this point? Yes.
Just for my understanding, my wife does all the trash. Is the 35-gallon in small?
It is.
I have some residents that are concerned about losing it.
Sure.
But it seems like no one but waste management has it.
That's correct.
Yes. Most of those have 65 gallons, I suppose, you have to.
Yeah, correct. Yep, the 65-gallon bin is your standard when you think about a trash bin. It's going to be the 65-gallon bin. If you have waste management, the 95-gallon bin is what they provide you for recycling, because waste management only does bi-weekly recycling pickup. So that's the larger size bin, and then as you can see, nobody except for waste management is going to provide the 35-gallon bin size.
It is a bummer to see the no 35-gallon bin. So we've got a 65-gallon bin that I have read also from a couple of people, but I do love that it's going to cost less than, or that these bids come in at less than half of what
Yeah, you know, and I will say that was a really big discussion point with the work group. Ultimately, you all are going to have to make the decision. Are we willing to give up a 35-gallon bin, or essentially have the conversation of bin storage with ourselves in order to get a price of $19.50 plus admin fee per month, which is, I'm going to guess, significantly cheaper than all of you pay.
When you say bin storage, are you talking about outdoors?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Whether that be the opportunity. We write our own rules, right? The municipal code is something that you all can certainly change. There are obviously going to be repercussions for that. But there probably could be solutions if we want to.
I know that there's always like the odd person out, but I've been hearing from people who don't have room in their garage and they don't have room in their exterior because of walls.
Yeah.
35-gallon bin fits really nice between my 2 garage doors.
Sure.
That's about the only place I have to put that garage.
Sure. And there's going to be people that are going to lose because we don't have 35-gallon options, unless you all want to go with waste management, which we certainly can.
May I add this?
Yeah.
I was on the working group, and the discussions that we had, the 35-gallon bins was what the group admitted was going to be the biggest pain point. Industry-wide, they're moving away from 35-gallon bins.
Yep.
They are an anomaly, and they're difficult for the trucks, and industry is moving away from them.
Yeah, so currently the type of trucks that they, at least this is the explanation that multiple haulers gave us, the types of trucks that they move now, they're moving away from. The new industry standard for trucks are going to be a different type of truck that loads the bins differently and just aren't going to be able to accommodate a 35-gallon bin.
So probably the 35-gallon bin customers are going to lose out on their bins in the next couple of years anyway.
That I would assume. I don't want to make assumptions, but yeah, I would assume so. Yeah.
Can you say why there's the industry standard is changing on the trucks? Is it safety? Is it efficiency?
I would assume all. Yeah, efficiency. Yeah. I mean, there used to be 3 people on trucks now. There's probably 2 to 1. Yeah. But I don't know. I can ask that question.
Also prevents overflow because people they don't have to get out.
That's pile inside.
Yep.
What's concerning is there been discussion concerning the older bids? We as the city can do those cheaper or
Yep, so if you all recall, there were 5 alternates. The first 2, or actually really the first 3, we wanted to know it's services that the city of Merriam already provides, the large item pickup and then the tree debris pickup and the holiday tree pickup. We know how much it costs us to provide those services, so we wanted to go out to bid and see how much it would cost a contractor to provide those services. As you can see, most of the companies didn't bid most of the alternates. There are, as you can see, like in the market bid for GFL, there are large items included within the contract per month. And you can see with Constable too, that's a similar case. But the only one who really provided costs for those, like for an apples-to-apples comparison, was Waste Management, who again was the highest bidder.
Despite them being the highest bidder, how does that compare to what we do?
I wasn't prepared to answer that question, but I can get you the answer.
I was just curious.
Yeah, I have numbers from Cecilia, but I didn't bring them.
Knowing they're almost, 80% more than GFL.
Yeah, I can certainly get those to you. Questions, comments right now?
How many haulers attended that meeting?
8.
Okay. And we got 4 different companies here?
Yep. And I did not follow up with the ones who didn't bid. That's not a traditional thing that we do.
Sorry, I lost it. 2 days away, why would they not bid them? They don't want us to be able to include neighborhoods?
There's probably not a price difference enough for them to be able to have. There's not a quantity enough difference.
If you're still able to give that option, it's just not necessarily a cost.
Correct. Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So you said 8 people showed up to the initial meeting going for a bid. Do you think it's because this just won't generate enough money for the mid-size? Like the small guys need it, the big guys are like, we're already out. The mid-size guys are just like, it's...
I don't even want to assume. I don't know. Honestly, we didn't do follow-up, so we didn't bid.
I think Constable is a small company.
Yeah, so Constable's out of Lee Summit. It's like a family business. They don't really do anything on the Kansas side, so I bet they're trying to get into the market. I don't know. There's a lot of assumptions I can make. I can see.
So, for the things that we didn't get bids on, or we would charge extra for that we already provided the bid service, and continue to provide those, like,
Yep. Yeah, and that's certainly a decision you all can make. If the program,
that was the plan.
The plan would be, yes, if there's no bid, or if you would all choose to go with management, it's much more expensive. That's a decision you all will have to make when we're negotiating the contract.
No one needs to go.
Not in addition to their normal weekly yard waste. Thank you.
Good question. On the GFL alternate versus the GFL bid, besides large item pickup, what other differences were there? Is it just being part of the larger contract?
Yeah.
The better rate?
Yes. It's essentially go look at the other cities that are on that contract. They are paying a slightly cheaper rate than that. This would essentially be our up cost to get on that contract. In hopefully a few years after our upstart costs were covered, that would either drop or remain the same based on the annual increases for the contract.
Like Roland Park does the leaf vacuum. Who did they use? That's their city thing, right?
Yeah, they have a back truck.
They own it.
Yeah, they own it, and they're very
contract
expensive.
with they ask their way to do this and do it.
I would assume so. I don't know. I'm not sure, but
They have some weird.
yeah.
Not weird. Some collaborative partnership.
Yeah.
So that waste management bid, I think is kind of surprising. So I don't know what theirs cost now, but back in December I was looking it up, and so that is $429 annually. And back in December it was like $450 for a new customer. So it's like almost no. Yeah. But like, huh.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on this slide? Alright, I don't have too many more slides. We do have next steps, assuming you all want to move forward with any of the bids. We will start a craft and bring it to you all for consideration at the first April meeting. We wouldn't recommend waiving that, such a big deal for the community. So you do your first reading of an ordinance change with the contract on the first meeting in April, and then the second one was when you would ultimately approve that ordinance change and the contract. Pending those negotiations, it would have a 1/1 start date of 2026. And then per state statute, everyone in the community that's going to be on our contract has up to 18 months to end their current service and essentially jump onto our service. Questions about that? Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is how we communicate this to the public. We think that we have a due diligence to answer the questions that the public has been asking all along, and we said that we don't know the answers to, because now we do know the answers. We've made this postcard. It's actually ready to go out tomorrow if you all agree to it. We want the public to be able to have the answers to their questions with enough time to consider. Oh, sorry, something in your bag. I'm sorry. With enough time to consider before the April, whatever it is, the first meeting in April. We want them to be able to do their research and make sure that they have answers to their questions. Yes.
So we're flipping on this side. Community satisfaction survey found that 65% support exploring citywide trash.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people who would argue that 65% of people didn't say do it regardless. It was look and see if it's a good deal.
Okay.
I just want to, to me that's important.
Okay.
Shouldn't it also be a single caller trash service instead of a single trash
Okay.
caller service? Am I reading that? Does everybody think?
That's an easy change.
I just want to I'm a single trash.
Yeah, so I can, this is obviously the front, there is a back. The only thing I wanted to point out to you all in the front is the way that we worded, if we do choose to send this out tomorrow or whenever you all want us to, it does say that you have selected a preferred provider because we're going to start contract negotiations. Is everybody comfortable with that language?
Can we go ahead and send this out? It sounds like we made the decision that we voted on it.
I'm happy to reword it however you'd like. I feel.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Sure. You don't like it at all.
I don't like that wording.
Oh, the wording or the postcard at all?
Postcard. We need.
I feel like we need to provide answers to the residents so they can come
I agree.
to the meeting.
I think just walking the line of making people feel like we've already made a decision versus, hey, we know everybody's been waiting, we have answers, we're going to discuss and vote on it.
Yeah.
Haven't truly made a decision without wording past, right?
Sure. How would you suggest that we reword it?
If we changed it from selected a preferred provider to exploring a preferred provider.
Okay.
Narrowed
to a preferred provider.
Yeah, or like.
What did you say?
Tentatively current preferred.
I think the motivation of the as Caitlin said, the motivation is that we had people that showed up at multiple meetings that made the effort to come to the meeting, wanted to share their concerns or have their questions answered, and we said, hey, we share those concerns, we want those answers also, but we don't have them tonight, and many of them sat down and we would assume went home waiting for us to go, we have the answers now. So we need to have something. The motivation of sending it this way was to say, here are the facts, and if you want more facts, there's a website that has more facts. We certainly, we can word it however, it's your postcard. What communication would you like the public to have?
So we haven't selected the first provider, and we're not even reading the ordinance until the first meeting.
Okay.
Which is the meeting we're telling them to come to. Yeah. So I mean, whatever Whitney said, narrowed down to a preferred provider.
Yeah.
Because
the city council has.
Considering.
That's a
considering the provider.
Considering a provider.
Yeah. It's considering a provider. And then the back is great.
Yeah, so,
I think we just need to hedge our bets a little bit, that maybe it will be a different provider.
Well, or like, again,
We haven't
like
written on the contract.
Yeah. I mean, it might not even happen right at this point.
Right.
So,
yes.
And what trash company is the city considering? We have the answer.
Well, I guess, are you considering it?
We don't have to go forward, no, we don't.
Yeah, I think we're considering it.
Don't we are considering it, we just have to, like, it would be inaccurate to say we have selected one, we
No,
have.
that's
Sure, sure. Yep, super fair.
We don't know because we don't have any.
We don't have a contract, we haven't done any reading.
This is the provider we're considering.
Yeah, like, the
Yeah.
contract might come back.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Yeah, so on the back it certainly says that, but we can add, let us know what you think to the front as well, if that would be.
Yeah, and I understand like for the first, like, bullet, like, or not bullet, but the numbers like on the back. Is that really like the preferred provider, this is a little bit, but like, we can add or discuss that.
That's what tonight's for. Yeah. I was hoping that out of tonight, I would have the answer to number one. To be able to tell the community, because these are the top 5 questions that at least I've had to answer. If there are different questions, we can certainly add them on
Say
here.
that in a work session.
You can tell me to move forward.
We can.
It's not a policy decision,
Right.
you're just.
I'm just starting to negotiate a contract.
What is it that you don't like? I'm sorry.
I like that we're having a conversation in a work session that like, no one really knows. I mean, I know it was noticed, but like it didn't say in the notice that we were going to be like discussing who we were going to start contracting.
Many times we've had that conversation when I've given the solid waste update at council meetings for the last 3 months or more.
No, I don't think you're answering what she said. It doesn't feel like.
No, it's okay. Maybe I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
It feels like we're making a business decision without being in a formal.
Okay.
So what?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a work session that like,
I think
I'm trying to say.
Sure. What would make you feel more comfortable then, I guess?
Current low bidders, provide GFL and.
Or just at all in the process. You seem uncomfortable, and I don't want that.
But we haven't noticed like who even responded to the bid publicly. Like,
Sure.
I mean, we haven't talked about that in a council session publicly. Who even like gave a bid?
Okay.
Right? I mean, it's been in the work session with residents, but like 2 residents in the meeting, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't. People weren't.
We tried.
Yeah.
There were more residents who were invited to those meetings and showed up. Who said they wanted to be involved.
We have the opposite thing.
Okay, Dan, but we also try and did our best with downtown Merriam.
I want to make sure we're as transparent as possible. This is a very big decision that we've been talking about for a long time. And we could get into this meeting in April and it's like completely blows on our faces if we're not transparent about it.
So,
and no one else seems to care about that, so that's fine if I'm the only one.
Don't put that word in my mouth. I mean,
can I ask a question in terms? So this work session, the agenda came out with the city council agenda. But that would be the topic. I mean, if there was a discussion at the council level, it's possible that it would just say this discussion of solid waste, and it would go out the same way. So your belief is that, or your concern is that this should be at a council meeting. That this conversation, not the decision, but the conversation, right? Because I think those are, at least in my mind, that's the 2 different things between a work session and a council meeting.
The way this is worded, it feels like we've already made a decision and that there is no other feedback that it can be posted, even if it says in the third.
We could add in, no decision has been made at this time.
Could we change number one to just say we received bids from, and then the full?
Yeah, that's all, I don't think they're not being very clear.
But then that impact, just so you're aware, it impacts them all
The
the
rest of the
costs and all the
question.
rest of it, because many of those other questions are tied to the actual vendor.
Yeah.
I think that's Casey's concern is it looks like we've already picked GFL.
What is, okay, so.
Well, do you want to pick waste management? Like, are there ones that you know you're not gonna pick?
I personally don't want to pick waste management. I think it would be prudent to pick the lower bid for our residents, but I don't, but this says that we have decided.
And that's what we're trying to decide.
Yeah,
And
we're
that's the
working on
point,
the
like,
wording.
We're working on it so we can clear it.
Yeah.
Right, but Chris is saying if we change that first one, all the other bullets are null and void.
Only if
So
you
are we, is this,
list all of the bids. We don't have
right,
to list all
so
of the
is
bids.
this, copywriting, like, group copywriting?
But I think it all gets back to where the first page it says that we have selected a preferred vendor, and I don't think that is correct.
We talked
We are
about what we're
considering.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought
That's an easy change.
I thought we reworded that.
We already wrote it down.
Yeah, I thought
We reword that, we get to the backside, and this is the vendor we are considering.
Yeah, this is the low bidder for sure.
This is the vendor we're considering, and then we have not made a decision yet. Because the decision needs
I
to be
agree.
made as.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to be the consensus.
Right.
And we want to try to find a consensus.
So considering gets changed.
Yes. Yep.
All over the place.
Yeah.
That would make me feel way more comfortable.
Is our April 14th meeting a true public
No.
meeting where people
I'm
can
sorry.
make comments?
Of course, yeah, it's a
Okay.
normal council meeting.
So would it also make me feel more comfortable knowing how these postcards work? We still have this whole top portion of the mail side that we can put information. Can we put
no.
public meetings?
I'm sorry.
That's the address.
Yeah, that's it.
I do postcards all the time. You only need a space this big for address.
I will check on that.
Okay. What's that?
Yeah, I will check on that. I've always been
Yeah.
told you need a,
You only need a 2.5 by 4 inch.
I would be happy to
Okay.
check on that.
So on the top portion or even the flag in the corner, can we put public meeting, come share your opinion?
Is it different than the yellow?
Yeah, because the yellow makes it sound like the city council, this body is going to be this voting decided. But
On the
it doesn't.
14th.
But it's not obvious to the public.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Yeah, yes, this is,
And
join
then,
us. as
then
the
that
city
makes me
council.
feel a lot better.
Sure.
about it.
Be prepared because there will be a lot of people there.
Well, there should be a lot of people there.
And I anticipate when we have this, most of this information is going to be in the council package. So people go through and look and see, oh, there's a low bid by quite a bit.
But none of it has been in any packet yet. It's not my problem, so yes. Why did it say like the low bidder was?
Well, I changed it to what trash company is being considered. Are we okay with that for the first question?
It softens it in my head.
Yeah, I agree.
And we received 5 bids from the.
I never had anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to complicate it, I'm sorry, but.
We have to.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not
That's
alone.
really long thing, I'm sorry.
Okay. What else about postcards?
Can you go over what you
changes?
Absolutely.
On the front, it will say, we have answers about a single hauler trash service. Yep.
Yeah.
A 2024 community satisfaction survey found that 65% support exploring a citywide trash recycling and yard waste contract. Since July, the city council has explored this issue to cut resident costs and ensure reliable service and reduce truck traffic on city streets. After receiving feedback from community residents through our online forum and social media, along with the bid process, the city council is considering a provider. So over to the answers for the community question.
Is that good? Is that
Yes.
one?
Is that good for
I
front page?
really like that exploring, because it makes it clear that, like, if we're still in the process.
Absolutely.
We can still bail if we have to.
You say at every meeting, stop it.
Absolutely. Still can.
Yeah.
Still can. Yep. Top 5 questions and answers. Number 1, what trash company is being considered? After receiving 5 bids, GSL Environmental Inc. is, period. I don't know,
Is low bidder.
Is low bidder. It's the same company used by many of our neighboring cities. Yes?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No changes until the bottom yellow part. I'm going to somehow say, like, join us at the next city council meeting to this, where the city council, I won't say city council twice. We'll discuss this issue at the April 14th meeting, starting at 7 p.m. in Merriam.
Are we compelled to vote? Do we have some sort of statutory requirement to vote on the 14th?
No.
I just marked out several of the cans that could, like, can make it feel like that's going to be their decision. Think about it.
Okay? Yay? Okay?
Can I point out one more little shout out? With this logo here in the bottom, that's what will cause the post office to put the barcode, which will cover up our logo, which will also take away from your address. So, yeah. I think we should have something else. They'll figure it out. I just want to, if you ever get a postcard or whatever in the mail and it has a barcode sticker on it, it's because someone put something where
Most people don't know that. Okay, I will check on that.
Where they want to bring.
Are we good with this?
I think you did it.
Okay.
Actually, looks good about it.
Yeah,
Those
that's okay.
Send us your feedback at Merriam.org/trash service, or maybe attendance comes through first.
I mean, well, yeah, we're adjusting the yellow
Just
part.
what we talked about, but it doesn't invite you to talk about it. That's just, they can either send us the feedback or come and tell us first.
Yep. Okay?
I mean, 25.
All right, and we'll make sure that the FAQ on the website is updated by the time that this will hit mailboxes. Like I said, we'll try and get this out tomorrow. I don't know what our comms team would use.
So this is, when we kind of put this together, we said this is our top 5 questions. What are other questions that you think would be questions 6 through 10, just so we can make sure that we address those? And as we get them, we will continue to build the list, but I mean, are there questions that aren't on here that you're being asked a lot?
If we're going to put $23 a month, we better be sure we're getting
Chris and I had that conversation about 10 times.
We've had 5 people check it.
Yeah, we've had lots of people check it.
Well, if you go with GFL, that's what it is.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to make sure people, because the last thing we want to do is like come in.
I freaked out about
higher.
it. Yes.
I have a little
Could be as low as $23.
concern on this. We're getting this bid, and I guess they know it, that it won't be enacted for 18 months.
It will start January 1. January 1, the service will start.
Service will start
On 26 of
of 26.
That's 2026.
Right, so however many months, it's over a year away, and they're gonna hold it
No,
on
it's
it.
not. It's January.
January 1.
That's 8 months away.
2026.
Okay.
Yeah. So
They
it's
have
sorry.
18 months for, they have.
Yeah, time. We hate time. Yeah.
It says they have 18 months to continue
Their current service.
Because they have contracts.
It won't take 18 months.
Yeah.
All of the providers know that this is happening. They're going to terminate service immediately with Merriam customers as soon as physically possible for them.
Will the contract have penalties in there to pick up?
It is. There's in there. Yep.
Cool, I can't read. So, yes, I love that they obviously, pricing is wonderful, I'm not going to specify. Obviously they have references, what other cities locally use currently?
Yep, so the GFL is one that has the MARC contract, which is Roland Park, Westwood, and Fairway. And Mission.
Mission Hills or Mission?
I don't think Mission.
Okay.
I think it's those three, Roland Park, Westwood, and Fairway. All use GFL.
So we need a large.
We would, for GFL. We certainly would. Yep, which is why our price is a little bit higher than theirs. They're going to have to, they've already told us they'd have to buy new equipment and hire new people. Yeah, essentially upstart costs.
As far as next questions, I'm not sure if this is the right place to note that, but we have to somehow communicate that we are going to how to accommodate the larger trash cans and the hiding them from the street.
Yeah, so something along the lines of the city, we know that this is going to be an issue.
We know about it.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about it.
Considering.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to put that on there.
Yep, I sure do.
Because that is huge concern.
It's a vocal concern.
It's a vocal concern,
Yeah.
I've also heard from a fair amount of elderly residents that struggle with the larger men to put them at the curb.
Yep.
So is that a conversation? I know it is, but like, I think that's something that we need to be prepared to communicate quickly as well.
Yep, as part of the RFP, actually, we required all of the respondents to essentially verify that they do what they call garage side service. And so, and the city's going to manage that process.
And bring the disabled residents
Yep.
as well too, right?
Yep, you have to.
From both, I just wanted to make sure.
You have to apply to the city. We don't know what that process looks like yet.
Right.
Prairie Village does it, so we'll probably
Okay.
copy their process. And all of the providers said that they provide that
There's
service.
somewhere that we can point people to and a process.
Yep.
That's all I worry about.
Yep.
We will.
We will.
And like,
We're aware.
We'll have hearings,
Yeah.
answer halfway forms to,
Right.
however we're gonna accommodate.
We recognize the process is needed.
Yep. What else?
I think these are the top 5 that I've heard.
Okay.
So like,
Okay. Yep, that was included in the bid package as well. They are not allowed to exceed CPI, particularly, I didn't realize this, there's CPI for specifically trash pickup that's set on an annual basis, and so that's the increase that we're going to be following. Yep, and that's written into the contract.
how was the contract length that we would?
5 years.
I would just like to thank you for putting all this together, and I know your pain because I deal with that every day. Everyone's an art director, so thank you for listening and learning.
Your postcard guy. Of course.
Are we good with the postcards going out tomorrow?
Yep.
Once it gets
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's out fast.
Yeah, certainly. We want people time to consider and do their research before that 14th meeting.
As long as they realize it's not a done deal.
When you say get out tomorrow, are you saying, you're not saying going to the post office, you're saying going to the rest?
We'll go to printer tomorrow.
Because I wanted to know what printer you have. Because I need that.
The presses are held right now. They're waiting for.
They're waiting for this. They're well ready.
We're actually going to discuss it on the 14th and the 28th.
Correct. Yeah, both.
Not just the 14th.
Yeah, both council meetings. Yeah, I'd be happy to write that in here too.
Do you want to include the 14th and the 28th? Because we're going to discuss it both.
This first reading will be the 14th, and then we would vote on the 28th, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. I think
Well, on the 14th, are we selecting, or is that actually the 28th?
The 28th is the contract approval.
Right.
The ordinance change is essentially saying we're going to single hauler.
Right.
And so you have to read that twice, so you read it on the 14th, and on the 28th is when it's formally adopted.
So there are
Read it,
two.
and then we vote.
Yep. What else?
Thank you for organizing this and for dealing with us
You're
on
welcome.
this exciting day.
Yes, you all are welcome. All right, so if I heard you, I'm going to call GFL tomorrow and start down that process.
Can you go back to the table? Like, just like.
that's less than half of what I'm doing now.
And that's, we
And
can
I
talk
just
about
told the
all the yard waste stuff in the March bid. It's year-round yard waste?
Sure is.
12 months?
Yep.
How many bags do we are?
There is a bag maximum. I don't have that right in front of me.
Yeah, I know, but that's just a question I will ask.
Yes. Yes.
Extra bags available?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Where would we sell extra tags? City Hall?
And the community center, and it's
Some retail
available at
outlets.
all of our grocery stores and hardware stores. But you can buy them anywhere, like you could go to Price Chopper and Shawnee and buy them. I mean, they're all over the place. I'm sorry, what did we say? Extra tags and yard waste.
Do you guys have one?
Give me your last question.
What was my last question? Yes, right, yeah, we're not gonna leave here until you tell me yes or no. Okay, okay.
I make financial aid. And as long as the reference is covered.
Yeah.
Mark vouches.
Mark vouches for them.
Contracts, and I always fall back on contracts. And then heavily negotiated.
I could give them a
Yeah.
And then the secret time is other
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still shocked that like some people didn't respond.
I'd be happy to call them and ask them why if you'd like.
I don't know if it matters.
Okay.
It doesn't matter at this point. We gave them opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
So it's just interesting.
I mean, it's obviously profitable for GFL at which puts them on the.
Right.
Yeah. And they already, they service like my.
The high school neighborhood.
Yeah.
They are all.
All right, guys, I'm sorry.
Have they, GFL had any issues with not taking that trash?
Not to my knowledge. And I will say, and you know, the landfill in Shawnee, obviously that's where I came from, and the individual that we would be dealing with at GFL came from the landfill, and so I've known this person for 15 years now, and it's a good company.
What did they use?
Another abbreviation of letters.
Okay.
GBA, no, that's the control for the design.
They started as talent and country.
And then there was another acronym.
Another name.
Yeah.
And then they were like managed
WWCA.
I will also point out that they're North Central County Chamber members, and they're very active in the chamber. So.
You're talking about GFL?
Yeah.
I do need to mention that they probably bought that kind of country because it's actually large.
It's a
They're
large
very
And they're in 24 different states.
No, I know, yeah. I just like who locally where should they buy?
County Country was a small country based out of California.
Yep. All right, are we all good?
Yes.
No more questions or comments?
Oh, sure.
I mean, who said that?
Go ahead. Story of 4.
Oh, just a moment.
I don't know if you mentioned it before, but I think where the negotiations were, but that the refuse and the trash and the recycling will be connected.
Yes, that was in the bid as well. Yeah, and that's on
That's a question, isn't it?
Yes. So,
It's like the third or fourth one.
To be clear, they won't pick up the entire city in one time.
Yes,
But all of your bids will be picked up on the same day.
yeah, when would my trash get picked up?
Picked up on the same day.
Yeah, it's number 4. Your trash recycling and yard waste would get picked up weekly all on the same day. Yeah, that would be bid for sure. Correct. Your individual house will get your 3 things picked up on the same day. Other questions or comments? Going once, going twice. I know. All right, thank you guys.
I'm going to take it down.
Good job.
It's okay.
You'd have to be hard.
I don't think we could do that.
First one in, last one out.
Yes, it does. Alright, time is currently Monday, March 24th, 2025, 21:23 Central Time. This concludes the City Council meeting and work session at Merriam City Hall.